Hey, how's it going, girl? It's your dad. How you doing? So today, hopefully, I'm not too sweaty. It was pretty warm today, and it was pretty warm in my apartment today. Thankfully, yes. Oh, thankfully, summer is here, and we get to enjoy the sun and the hot weather and the humidity. Yeah, that's okay. I love the summer. That's why I live in Southern California. I want summer all year round. Forget the snow. Who cares about snow? I'm not a big fan of snow. I don't know. I've probably spoken to you about it before. Snow is not my thing. The sunshine is my thing. That's right. Now I love being up in the mountains where the sun shines bright and it's brilliant. Um, but down here in Southern California is just fine. I was learning from my photography class instructor. His name is Sheen Anderson. He was telling me about how um, the movie industry moved to Los Angeles, Southern California, for a reason, and it was because California has so much light. Has a lot of light in California, beautiful light all year round. And at the time, everyone had photograph. The film industry was actually plastic film, and it had to be exposed by sunlight. And if you didn't have sunlight out, then you really couldn't shoot a movie. So you couldn't have the movie industry in Oregon, you couldn't have it in Washington, you couldn't have it in New York City. You might be able to have it in Florida, but maybe not, and maybe even in Texas, but not in the northern climates because you just don't get enough sun up there, for a long lengthy amount of time. So I really appreciated that point. I thought that was a really good idea when it came to sort of explaining why Los Angeles is where it is. Yeah, and it's a really great and interesting ecosystem they've got down there in LA. They've got the beach, they've got the desert, they've got mountains like Big Bear National Park or Big Bear, what a state park, I think. They've got the ocean down there. So, and they've got sunlight all year round. So definitely not a mystery as to why the LA film industry is down there, or the film industry is down in LA. So yeah, I'm liking the sun lately. Finally getting a little taste of winter because let me tell you, I mean a little taste of summer because this year has been rainy. It was raining all last like January, February, March, and it was cloudy and cold March, April, May, June. And only recently, like July, August, is it starting to warm up a little bit, and I'm glad. I'm a little bit concerned about the future because of climate change and global warming, but at least I got my warmth in this year. And of course, I have a feeling that next year is going to be super duper warm, super duper warm. You know, Speaking of shirts, I think I might have mentioned that I bought two shirts yesterday. So, not only that, but I also bought some booties because I'm going to go surfing tomorrow. That's right. I bought some surfing booties. I was thinking about going surfing at Refugio Beach or Campus Point near UCSB. And the reason is because, well, actually, there are a lot of reasons, but I know that that's where surfing happens. And the reason I'm interested in perhaps going to Refugio is because they've got lifeguards there. Not that anything will happen. I don't expect anything to happen, but I'm like a freshwater swimmer, right? Typically I swim in swimming pools, and so swimming in the ocean is just not something I do very often. Not that I have a problem with that, because I'm sure I could swim like a crazy maniac in the ocean. And besides, I need to get some swimming in myself. Really, last time I swam a kilometer in the swimming pool was easily a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Yeah, so things have been pretty slow in the swimming regime, and that's not to say that I haven't been inside of a swimming pool. I've been in swimming pools, but I just haven't done my standard 40 laps or 40 lengths of the pool, I should say. So, depending on this weekend, who knows? Who knows? I might get my swimming done. I just finished playing some ukulele, and I am so happy Oh my gosh. Let me tell you why I'm happy. I've gone through 3 days of strong strumming, 30 minutes at a session, strumming my ukulele guitar. And I haven't had hide nor hair of any carpal tunnel syndrome developing, which is amazing. Because let me tell you, usually what has happened in the past is I've had like carpal tunnel syndrome of the yin yang. Forgive my French. And why it's not happening now, I think I know why. I think it has to do with the strength of my muscles. It has to do with my ligaments, that they're strong. I think it has to do with inflammation. I'm eating a lot of vegan food. I have a plant-based diet pretty much. And I'm eating a lot of berries like blueberries, strawberries. And so what's happening is that the sheaths around my tendons, this is what I guess, the sheaths around my tendons are really lubricated. And because of all that activity, because of the swimming and the weightlifting and everything's going well. And so I've got some really healthy ligaments, really healthy tendons. And that just enables me to play a long time on the guitar. And oh my gosh, I couldn't be more happy than that. I mean, I'm making a lot of progress. I haven't been making a lot of progress like reading music because I'm going with my heart, right? I'm following my joy and I'm creating music that I want to play. And I'm just sort of developing my own way, coming up with notes, coming up with strumming patterns, using various methods of repetition to, get, I'm basically doing everything myself. I'm learning how to strum. It's a very sort of self-oriented exercise. And it almost makes me think that if I had a piano, like right here, I could also be practicing piano here and there, which would be amazing. I mean, oh, wow. That would be phenomenal if I could do something like that. I'm gonna keep with the ukulele though. The nice thing about ukuleles is that they're portable, that I can sing. I find myself not singing, but whistling along with the ukulele. I tend to play joyful songs only. So we'll see what happens. Maybe if I ever play a mournful song, maybe I won't whistle. Maybe I'll hum or something like that. I'm not a hummer. I'm not a really big hummer. I would sing before I would hum. Just not a hummer. That, of course, probably has to change. So this morning, I provided a video to you. It was just 25 minutes long. And I thought, oh, man, I got to do better than that. So I'm back. I'm back on the horse again today, Emily. Going to give you my all. I sent you a text message today telling you that I loved you. And Miss McFarland, that is the truth. I am a lover of my daughter. I think my daughter is amazing. And I am in awe of everything that you do. Let me tell you something about life today. It's a real struggle. It's a real challenge. I think there are many aspects of life today that are more difficult than when I was growing up. Of course, there are a lot of aspects that are less difficult too. I mean, one of the less difficult problems you have to deal with, that I had to deal with, is just tons of brothers and sisters, which was, it was great in some respects, but not so great in other respects. I remember when my mom and dad came home from the doctor or something, and they sat us all down. And mom said, at this time, we had 5 kids. My mom and dad have 5 kids. And they sat us down and they said, boys and girl, because I had my sister at the time there. They said, we're going to bring, your mother is pregnant and she's going to bring a baby into the world. And all of us in the chorus said, no. I kid you not, that's exactly what happened. I remember it vividly. And it was because, why? It's a real challenge. There's, here you are, a kid. You want attention. You want attention from your parents. And you're not getting it because their attention is split into 6 different ways. That's 6 different ways for every kid. And so, Emily, imagine the attention that you get from your parents. And I know you're thinking, oh, I hate my parents' attention. Well, I don't know about that. Imagine getting 6 times less than that, you know? That's what it's like growing up in a big family, you know? It's rough in some respects. I mean, it's nice in some other respects, but it can be rough. There's also limited resources. Like there's only like 2 beds, right? And there's like 4 kids, and you're like, what are we gonna do? Someone's sleeping on the couch, you know? 2 kids are sleeping on the couch. That's the way I grew up. We had kids sleeping on couches, but not all the time. Mom and dad were able to keep up pretty well. You know, they had it together. And here's another thing you don't have to worry about that I had to worry about, and that was religion. Thankfully, to my knowledge, you're not necessarily engrossed in religion in your household. Good for you. I made a solemn agreement with my former spouse, Sheila, and it wasn't really a solemn agreement, but she knew where my heart was. And that was, I wanted to keep you as far away from that stuff as possible. Because let me tell you, I'm sorry. I just have to be honest. It's not that good for you. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your physical health. You know, there are some benefits to it, but you can reap those benefits outside of the teachings anytime you want. In fact, the teachings outside are much higher quality, and a lot more easy to follow. And there's also a lot less judgment in self-help and self-development literature today. So stay away from that ancient wisdom poetry, ancient wisdom literature. Stay away from that stuff. I tell you that as a loving father. Although you're welcome to adopt any kind of spirituality you would like, you know, that in moderate and very mild amounts, it's perfectly okay. Just don't drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah. So that's advice that I am passing down to you. That is a golden nugget of advice that I spent 23 years working my way through. And eventually I slogged out of it and found some firm footing in philosophy, psychology, existentialism. Yeah. Okay, girl. Woo-hoo. Let's see what else is going on. So I am really looking forward to doing a nighttime bike ride. And I was thinking, Emily, maybe one of these days we can go on a bike ride too. Maybe a bike ride around your block. It sounds like something that I would enjoy doing. Maybe next week, perhaps. Do you think you might be interested in that? Anyway, maybe not. We'll see, right, how it goes. Let's see. What else is going on with me? Well, actually, part of the reason I've been interested in bike riding is because I want to go on these nighttime bike rides. And while on these nighttime bike rides, I want 2 things to happen. Number 1, I want there to be music. So I've got a Bluetooth external speaker that I can listen to while I'm on the bike. And number 2, I've got lights on my bike. My bike lights up on a Christmas tree, or at least it will come tomorrow, because tomorrow I'll be receiving a package of lights that I can install on my bicycle. So totally psyched about that all working out. So let me tell you, these are the things that I've got going on in my life right now. I've got surfing. I just went paddleboarding, stand-up paddleboarding last weekend. I know, craziness. And then I got bike lights. That's right. And what else? I don't know. I went to the gym today. I know. My hamstrings are like they are a little bit sore right now. I think they're going to go away in short order. That soreness. You know, that's good, man. You want your muscles to be just a little bit sore, right? So, you know, they've received a workout. Today also was a special day in that I had some frozen yogurt. Man, let me tell you I had some Tahitian vanilla yogurt. Good stuff. Let me tell you, that's really good stuff. So, I don't know. All kinds of great stuff's going on. I'm playing the ukulele. I'm learning how to surf. I'm reading awesome books. I'm getting my bike together. I'm swimming. Actually, I'm not swimming, but I'm riding my bike. Actually, the stationary bike at the gym. But I got some lights. I got all kinds of things going down. Yes. And of course, I got my photography class. I mean, there are things happening, coming in at me from all angles, and I'm just spreading myself out, enjoying it all as I take it all in, as I just allow it in my life, and then it just spreads its beauty around me. It just sort of unfolds all this amazingness. Oh, you know what's sore? My back. I did sore in a good way. Actually, it's just my lats, my latissimus dorsi. I did some heavy lat work the day before yesterday. I did seated row, cable row. I did a row machine. I did another row machine. I did a lot of rowing. I did pull-ups, weighted pull-ups. Yeah. Your dad is a really active guy. He really pulls it together. Somehow, I don't know how I do it. I hit the gym basically every day, every weekday, I should say, and pull it together, man. Kicking this body into shape, getting it straightened out. I still am trying to make progress on posture. It's not really the easiest thing for me to do. You know, here's the thing about postural muscles is that these are problems that have developed over time, decades, really. And as you become more aware of your spine and its position in time and space, it's sort of hard to undo all the automatized behavior. Yeah, I still find myself stooping sometimes or having a rounded back at times. I kind of wish that never happened, but it's just the way my body is built. I have a sense that part of my problem is I've got tight abs. What it does is it gives me a little posterior tilt. My pelvis, a posterior tilt. Is that anterior tilt? I think it's posterior tilt, and that messes up my spine, and everything gets bent out of shape. So all I can do is ask for more mindfulness, do some more strengthening exercises. What I ought to be doing too is doing some more stretching along my back. I think that would I could make a lot of progress that way, but it's just not something I've been pursuing. I have taken yoga classes before. I intend to take yoga classes again. I'm just not taking a yoga class now, and I don't have any kind of practice. For some reason, I think of stretching like that, stretching in yoga as something separate from weightlifting. Weightlifting for me is a priority, and stretching is not so much. But I could see how that could be really important. Have some alone time with myself and do some stretching with some nice new age music on the radio. Speaking of the radio, I have really been loving Adam Lambert's song called Superpower. Yeah, talk about a powerful song. I'm dancing everywhere I hear that song. I play it on YouTube when I am surfing on the internet, and I've got that song in my mind. That Adam Lambert song is so good. I admire Adam Lambert a lot, and I almost kind of wish he'd come out with more material. But I really admire him as a performer, as a singer. I remember watching him on, what was that program? America's Next, no, I'm trying to think of what it was called. something about singing, the best singer. I forget what it was, but it was a singing competition. So awesome. I was rooting for Adam Lambert all the way. He had an amazing voice. He still has an amazing voice. I think what I've been noticing in his music videos, though, is he doesn't sort of stress his voice as much as he used to. I remember when he was on TV, he would shake the house down with his powerful voice. And now I don't hear him shaking the house down with his voice anymore. Which is fine because I love Adam Lambert for his creativity and the songs that he is inspired to sing, and I love his heart, and even his fashion sense is totally cool. Boy, I wish I could dress in it. Even 5% of the way Adam Lambert dresses. He is out there, man. I guess as a performer, you go through a lot of costume changes, and and clothes just become a part of your personality. You just throw on, who knows, whatever, some designer's clothing, and you stick to it, right? I kind of wish I could do that. I have a pretty conservative clothing style, and that's something I want to work on. I've been trying to do that, trying to widen out a little bit. I think it would do me some good. My conservative clothing style gets on my nerves a little bit, in the sense that the fact is I feel really comfortable in formal clothing, and the more formal, I like it. I like the formal wear. But I guess if it gets a little bit too formal, like I'm not going to wear a tux to the grocery store or anything like that. For me, it's all about context. And I like to be in context with the people around me. And the fact is that the people around me are looking more and more leisurely. Everyone's wearing, particularly women, are wearing these athleisure selections. And so they're all like Sporty Spice walking out of the gym. And they're walking around in these clothes all day long. And now it's just the norm. It's just what everybody sees, what everybody does. Men's fashion has yet to catch up. I kind of hope it does. I've been seeing it in places pop up. I've been seeing men's shirts with a lot of floral patterns. I've been seeing a lot more men wearing tights. There's definitely an overlap going on right now. It's pretty powerful. The joggers came out. Joggers, as opposed to slacks or jeans, are very new to men's dress, and particularly men's masculine dress. Yeah, there's a lot of changes going on. I remember during like the 80s and 90s, wearing the color pink was like a major expression of a man's feminine side, right? And that trend, after about 10 or 15 years, got real old real fast. And even I, when I was a kid, I would own these pink or salmon colored polo shirts or dress shirts and walk around in them. And I actually don't own any pink shirts right now. And I haven't owned any pink shirts in years, probably a good 15 years, maybe even 20 years. Why, you may ask? I've spoken to you about this in the past, Em. I tend to gravitate toward more masculine, trending clothes. Why is that? I don't know why. There are women who dress in very feminine dresses all the time, and they won't find themselves in pants ever. And the same is true for men, in the sense that they stick to the more masculine choices. For example, I pretty much always wear a button-down dress shirt, and I used to always wear slacks, like Dockers. I always used to wear like casual Dockers, always. I don't anymore. Nowadays, I wear Levi's pants. But that has really become the norm. Who knows what the future will hold? I have a feeling that one of these days I'm going to be wearing flip-flops to work and Bermuda shorts and a t-shirt. And who knows, maybe a tattoo sleeve or a henna sleeve. Maybe a facial tattoo. No. So let me give you a little advice about. Um, now, this is just stuff I'm saying, right? I know you don't have to take any of this advice, but my suggestion is not to make any permanent changes to your appearance when you're young. Wait till you're like over 30. Then, when you've got a better idea of the context and how you want to present yourself, then you could go ahead and do it. Get that tattoo sleeve, get that body modification, get that. Who knows what you want? But give it a good 10 years. Give it a good 10 years before you decide to do anything permanent to your body, because it can be seductive to sort of just put tattoos all over your body. But here's the thing: human beings are meaning machines, right? They're meaning makers. And these meanings change. People transform all the time. There are people who've got these like religious scriptures tattooed onto their body or their bicep or whatever. And then after a while, they're non-religious. And what are you going to do with that? That symbol lacks meaning now. And it just sort of gets in the way. And so particularly when you're young, I suggest avoiding any kind of permanent markings on your body. The fact is, I don't have any permanent markings on my body. I'm actually quite happy about that. I have seen people with permanent markings on their body, and let me tell you, this is my own personal opinion. I'm not convinced that it's always a good look. Maybe in certain contexts, it's a good look. I know some people are very conscientious, and they, like, for example, they'll give themselves a tattoo, but only that you'll only be able to see if they have a shaved head. Or maybe they'll get a tattoo on the inside of their arm or the inside of their leg or something like that. And, I can respect that. It's just that, here's the facts. Human beings have to get along together. And part of getting along is conforming to some extent. I mean, we all conform a little bit to society's roles and requirements. It's just part of being human. It's part of sharing the space on this limited resourced planet. And so, it's probably a good idea not to, how should I say, to signal ideas that are they're going to be somewhat questionable for a lot of people. I don't know. It's just I'm just talking about practical matters, man. I'm talking about finding a job. I'm talking about finding a romantic partner. I'm talking even about yourself, and as you transform, how you might have preferences that change about how you want your body to look. And if you're continuously doing permanent changes, there's a practical limit to that. There's a practical limit. Once you do something that's a permanent change, it's really hard to go back. It's expensive, painful, and sometimes impossible. So, keep your body the way it is. Your body's beautiful the way it is. Nature spent the last 5 billion years honing and sharpening that body of yours to make it your own, to make it essentially the dominant life form on the planet Earth. And given the fact that evolution handed you this amazing gift of your body, don't take it for granted. Engage in some self-care. Make sure that you're caring for it, and you're caring for it in a way that's as natural and as reasonable as you can, using all the latest scientific data, clinical studies, right? Absolutely. Why not? So did I fail to mention that I went to go get some frozen yogurt today? I got some frozen yogurt, 3 varieties with hot fudge topping. And let me tell you, that hot fudge is something else. That is some good stuff. Anyway, I had 3 different flavors. I had vanilla, blueberry, and vanilla, berry, and this other variety. It might have been like another berry. But all non-fat. That's pretty amazing. I'm a big fan of non-fat dairy and non-fat food products because I have a suspicion about how eating a lot of fat can increase insulin resistance. And I am very careful and cautious about making sure that my insulin resistance is very low. That's one of the primary reasons I exercise. It's one of the primary reasons I eat like I do. I want to make sure that my insulin resistance is as low as humanly possible. That's not to say I'm 100% successful. Like I honestly don't know what my insulin resistance value is right now. I haven't really had a test that measured it, but I have a sense as to what might be causing it. I think it might be related to fat. Anyway, that's because I heard that some experimentalists add fat to, say, rats' diets to get them to become diabetic or insulin resistant. And, I think that human beings are very much the same. I want to maintain low blood sugars all the time. Yeah, that's important to me. My health is important. So let's see what else is going on in the world today. Well, I don't know. I'm excited about my life. My life is now better than I think that it's ever been. Ever. There's so much amazing stuff going on, so much change, and I'm in the middle of it. It's just this whole tumult. It's just totally unfolding. I've got relationships, I've got reaching out, it's just dancing, I've got surfing, stand-up paddleboard, bicycling, camera, ukulele, books. I got so many things going on. It's amazing. I'm about to move to Santa Barbara. So many things going on. I don't know. It's great. My life has never been better than it is right now. Never been better. It's the most stimulating, exciting life that I've ever had. And that's the truth. Sometimes I think about what has caused this series of events. Why is my life so amazing right now? I think it has a lot to do with working out at the gym regularly. I pretty much try to do it every weekday. There are other things, though. I think I am doing a better job of letting my joy out. As I grow older, I become more confident in my own abilities. I figure out what my superpowers are. I do a better job at relating to people. I have really deep social connections and friendly connections, and that's just, I don't know. It's just so much juice. I can't believe it. There are also some habits that I have where I sort of restrict content. For example, I don't spend a lot of time watching the news or alternative media or anything like that, or documentaries. I have just no interest in that stuff right now. Mainly because it's just, I don't know. It's that field, the field of interest and possibility and exploration. It's just that kind of material is just not compatible with my brain right now. It's just not compatible with my brain. So anyway, I see here that it's time for me to wrap up this video. And like I said, and like I mentioned in my text today, Emily, I love you very much. I hope that you're really loving your life too. I have a feeling that you're growing up and growing into this amazing, mature young adult. I have a feeling that you're giving your parents a lot of grief, and that's great. Sock it to them. I'm just kidding a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But, I'm excited for your teenage years and how you're growing and developing and becoming, well, you already are this amazing young woman. And, you know, I want you to know that I have this idealistic version, this idealistic vision of you. And, I don't know how true to life it is, but I do have a sense that you're just an amazing earthquake of a human being and that you're just filled with zest and power and are making it happen and going to your classes and marching out the door with with knowledge, you know living your life every day. I don't know what's going on in your life, but I do have a vision. I think that things are going okay, and I'm glad about that. Certainly if things were not going okay, I'm sure I'd find out about it through some means. Who knows what means, but I want to say, and I want to make it clear that I love you very much. I'm absolutely committed to our relationship, completely dedicated to being a source of um, appreciation for you, a source of pride. Yeah, yeah, I'm totally into it. And I guess I'll see you when I see you. Hi, I love you, girl. Bye bye.